Traditional games do not allow ownership of in-game assets. For one, the technology of truly owning in-game assets hasn't been adopted by the industry. And secondly, the business models of these companies would have to change pretty dramatically for them to adopt something like that. And in my opinion, like Illuvium is setting a precedent for this type of business model. Illuvium just really flips the business model on its head. It is given the ownership of not just the in-game assets to people who play the game. The whole revenue of the whole game is going towards the stakeholders of the ILV token. It gives the ownership of the actual like the decision making of the whole game to the community through a DAO. And that's another blockchain thing. All of this is empowered by the blockchain. We talk about the true ownership. And what is true ownership? True ownership is a verifiable proof that no one can take away that you own something. True ownership in a game, in my eyes, is that when I go out and I, collect a thing that's meant to be, owned by me, that I can trade or transfer or do whatever I want with it. And like, for example, WoW, you could sort of do that. You could go out and you could go and collect certain resources, and then you could go to the marketplace and go trade it and sell it and auction it off. Well, the thing is that Blizzard at any time could really decide to just wipe that item from the game. They might decide to completely dilute the market with it by just making it super easy to get, whereas it used to be rare, and you spent all this time mining something that was rare, and then in the end it wasn't rare because Blizzard just changed it. In true ownership, I'm talking about that I am able to own the actual thing and also have some sort of power over the decision making of the supply of that thing. And so in Illuvium, you've got both of those things. You have, when you own something, you own it and you can do whatever you want with it. But if there was something that was game breaking, the way that the game would change is through the whole community of people who hold the ILV token. They would be able to decide how to move forward. So in this clip that you're going to listen to, we're going to talk about all of this ownership stuff and how it is completely game changing for the whole gaming industry. And quickly, before you do, if you could give us a like and a sub if you've liked anything that I've just said, that would just blow us away. We're new and we would just love that. So yeah, enjoy. But you will be able to own. So one of the the gameplays is that you'll capture Illuvials. They're the creatures, they're the Pokemon types, and yeah, when you capture them, and this is where the blockchain crypto comes into it. And this is where this is industry changing stuff. And this game is, I feel like, going to set precedents for other games. But when you capture these Illuvials, you're gonna be able to, you will own them. Unlike, let's say, for instance, you go on the Fortnite and you go buy your skins and you're spending money into these skins, you do not get you don't actually own them. If your account gets banned, if you happen just to forget your passwords to that account, or if simply Fortnite just stops being produced, those skins are worth nothing, and they're really just worth nothing outside of your own personal value, which has been fine in games. But where else in the world have we really experienced where we don't actually experience true ownership when we buy things? There's not many scenarios like that, except video games. It's been a really interesting thing when I've been thinking about it, is that video games is this weird place where and I guess the digital realm, you don't really own very much, but that's where crypto changes things. And the best application of that is, or better said, the blockchain is what changes it. And games is just literally the best place. So a bit of rambling there, but I guess I just wanted to give anyone that's not like a crypto native that the main thing that you're going to just be so impressed with is when you go out and you catch it, you own it. Now, when you own it, you can transfer it to someone, you can sell it, you can buy it, you can buy others. There'll be a true economic economy. So is there anything that you want to sort of say from this intro, Josh?
Yeah, actually. So why don't you give us a comparison of what it would be like for a more centralized game where we have something that we purchase in the game that we don't necessarily own, and we can't really do what we want with it per se outside of the game, so that people can understand the difference.
So how would the Fortnite example be different?
Perfect.
So
I think, yep, Fortnite would be perfect. So explain, like, as far as the skins in Fortnite, right? We can buy them. We can do, add them to our characters. We can do anything we want inside the game. But if Fortnite was ever to shut down, we lose all our assets. We lose everything that we ever spent in that game on that character. And the difference is that when you go to something on the blockchain that is more decentralized, I will actually own that asset, and I can choose to sell it. I can take it with me. I can take it out of the game. I can put it back in the game. And that makes all the world a difference, because I'm truly owning those assets.
Yes. And this is just like, this way of thinking about it is just the top, like the top of the iceberg, because there is, like, one of the first things that actually went to my mind when I was learning about this was like, oh wait, so imagine you get your Fortnite skins, right? And then this new indie game pops up and they want to attract some Fortnite players to their game. So what they could do is say, if you have this skin, that skin, if it was an NFT, like, let's say that all skins in Fortnite are NFTs, if you have that skin, then it's going to do this in our game. And then people will go, heck yeah. And so they go make sure that they have that skin, buy that skin up. And then this new indie game has been able to attract a bunch of the market of Fortnite, because they're just like, heck yeah, I get to use this skin to do something awesome. Maybe it's unlock a loot box, or maybe it's that it actually is a weapon in the game. And I've actually played a game like this. I actually did this with a company, a blockchain company called Engine, and they did this cross-game metaverse thing. And it's the first of its kind, right? Where basically I would go into one game, I'd do whatever I needed to do, and I would get this NFT that was like a sword, and then I'd go to another one and it was a helmet, and then I'd do another one and it was the bodysuit. And then, like, it was the armor, and then I got those three things and I went into another game, and then all of those three things that I got from other games, I brought it into the last game called Lost Relics, and I was able to actually they turned that into a suit in their game, a whole set of armor and sword that I could go defeat a boss with. And then I got this NFT, and it was like it's like, it's surreal. Like, nothing like that happens in these games. Like, collaborations are going to be unreal. And seriously, even those two things of owning, like radical ownership of NFTs, but then like no, it's not NFTs. It's like, they are NFTs, and I guess we've been talking about NFTs, and people are like, what the heck are NFTs? That is another video, and we'll do it. We'll do it, and we'll explain NFTs. But just know that they are they're just like tokens that you can own, just singular tokens. But what was I saying? Like, it's just the top of the iceberg what you can do with these. With games, like, but Illuvium has taken it to a whole nother level that we won't get into right now. But there's governance, there's and there's going to be, like, we even went down a rabbit hole the other day talking about, like, leveraging, like, collateralizing, like, the creatures to be able to do all sorts of rad stuff. And I'm like, now we're bringing, like, decentralized finance into a video game. It's just, I can't wait for the future, bro. But Illuvium's the start of it. Were you going to say something?
Yeah. Yeah, it's limitless, and I think it's important to realize that not only owning those assets gives you ownership, so you actually own those things. So for the collectors out there, they can be proud of their collection of everything that they've won
Mm-hmm.
and gained within the game. But also, it's important to understand that it brings a a revenue stream because say you want to get out of the game, you can sell those assets. Say you don't need those assets anymore in the game because it doesn't affect your gameplay, you can sell the ones you don't need,
Yep.
and it's a source of revenue.
Yep. And that is all to say. And the buzzword of the past couple months in NFT world has been that we haven't even touched on play to earn. That there is a way to actually make money playing video games. True economic value, like, which is and this is sort of what they're trying to do in Illuvium too. So I guess we've sort of, we went on a bit of a tangent here, and I think that that's sort of what we're going to do when we talk through this, is give our takes on this. But like, we're really impressed with what Illuvium's got and what crypto's got in store for us, and so okay, are we keen to get back into it?
Let's roll.
Cool.
Let's
so
go.
So to finish that off, again, in this game, we are uncovering the mysteries of the planet. We become a hunter. We travel across lands, subduing and capturing Illuvial. So we're basically battling them until they faint. They don't die, we're told. And obviously you don't want them to die because you want to catch them. And then try to unlock the obelisk, which I didn't actually know this. So also, guys, this is like our first take on this stuff as well. Like, we've listened to a bunch of podcasts from Kieran and a bunch of really good interviewers, but we're still learning ourselves. And these obelisks are going to give us access to other parts of the world from what we understand, and we'll learn more later, will give you access to higher level, higher tier alluvials.
It's like to me is I suppose that's supposed to be like a padlock on a door, and it allows you to get into that next part of the world.
Yes, but it's going to be special, and you're going to go into this obelisk, and it's going to teleport.
Oh yeah, it's much more special. I brought it down to the layman.
Yes, that's right. That's right. It's just a door that gets you into another area. Now, something to note that these guys have said: game is in development, and all details are subject to change. And I guess with that quickly just being said, guys, we're going to have to do another video on this as well, but this game is actually owned by the token holders of ILV, the Illuvium token. This is all powered by the blockchain. And when I say owned, I'm meaning that it's being run by an organization called a DAO, a decentralized autonomous organization. Is it autonomous? I think it is. And a DAO, like, they've created in such a way that there is actually a council that of people that have been voted in and by the community that can actually make proposals based on what the community's asked. It's literally like real government. And then when they create these proposals and they go public, then the actual public who own the token and are staking, and staking is basically like a savings account. As long as you're holding and you're in that savings account, for your Illuvium, which is very lucrative, by the way, and we'll talk about that later as well in another video. You will be able to vote on these proposals and decide on, it's not just like actual gameplay things. If there is a proposal that comes through and ends up getting voted on and passed that literally changed the gameplay, like for instance, they go out on version 1 and version 1's out and people are loving it, but they're like, we want it to become, people like, we want it to be an MMO. This needs to be an MMO, massive multiplayer online game. Well, the community can vote on that, and then the developers that are getting paid by the treasury of the DAO it will build it. And so it's pretty gnarly. And so this game is subject to change, but this is the first version, the first iteration that these guys are giving.